climbed in through the window. I didn't think I would escape. I was just frozen, helpless. Nothing I could do.
That property is a pretty remote property. It's several acres.
I could hear his footsteps, and they were getting closer. The evil in his eyes I'd never seen before.
Potential suspects were whittled down.
Okay, guys, so what I'm doing is something a little bit different. We're going over the article together. So right now they're saying a suspected killer of an Alabama college student, Aniah Blanchard, said he shot her after she allegedly went for the gun, according to court documents. So I kind of figured he would go this direction because he's only got one way left, and that's self-defense. A man that has been arrested 26 times, 6 times, pretty, some serious allegations against him, and he's running free. He knows the law, so he appears to be smarter than he looks, guys. So he's very familiar with the law. He's familiar with what works and what will help him get free. So the fact that he knows that he will have to face some charges, especially with witnesses talking, but we will only find out in the future what will really happen with that. So let's go ahead and continue to read this. So Blanchard, the 19-year-old stepdaughter of the Ultimate Fighting Championship UFC fighter Walt Harris, was last seen in a convenience store in Auburn on October 23rd. And this guy that they're talking about is Ibrahim Yazeed, and he's accused of abducting her from a store and shooting her to death. So according to the Lee County District Attorney Brandon Hughes, after Blanchard disappeared, an unnamed individual told authorities that Yazeed was at home in Montgomery with Blanchard's car, according to court documents. And here we go. Yazeed admitted that to shooting the girl and stated that the girl went for the gun, according to the statements made by the same individuals in court documents against Yazeed. So this is all leagues. Blanchard was found deceased November 25th in a wooded area of Shorter, Alabama. Blanchard died from a gunshot wound, and her death was ruled a homicide. So Yazeed faces capital murder charge, and prosecutors said that he will seek the death penalty. So the only choice he has really to fight this, he either has mental issues he could fight, which we know that he can't do that. We know he's mental in some ways, but not in a way that would grant him to be, so bad that he didn't know what he was doing. So here you can see Yazeed, which is in the white here, where he walked into the courtroom or a hearing on the disappearance of the college student Aniah Blanchard on Wednesday, November 20th, 2019. So according to this article, Yazeed told the judge in a very, we're hearing he kind of shouted it out, "I got rights too. Y'all have no video, no audio of me shooting anyone. That's why I'm trying to see how y'all are going to bind me over hearsay. But y'all ain't presenting no evidence." And like I said earlier, I do believe that he thinks that he knows the law well enough that he can scoot around it. And I believe that he will try to take the route of self-defense while kidnapping Aniah Blanchard. Now, what this article goes on to say also is that officials say there is a new witness who saw Yazeed with a gun tucked into his shorts while in possession of Blanchard's car. So, and this is where you see They say officials say that the witness claimed Yazeed had admitted to shooting the girl and that the girl had went for the gun before he had murdered her. So instead of him twisting it into a self-defense type thing, they're saying, in other words, Aniah was fighting for her life. She was fighting back. Of course, they're saying on the other witnesses that they have arrested, which are 2 other people, but in reality, there are 3. They are also charged in this case, but prosecutors say that they believe that Yazeed acted alone in killing Blanchard. In other words, they made a plea deal. Now, I remember seeing a guy post something on Facebook that was supposedly friends with Yazeed, and he mentioned, and I don't have it, I have it somewhere else, you'll have to look on one of my older videos, where he said Yazeed was innocent and that the only way that he would have done something like that is if somebody tried to hurt him, basically. I can't remember word for word. But let's read over this, and it kind of matches this guy. And I know the cops should have that Facebook information. But let's see here. So what I found on that Facebook probably is true, because this is what it says in this article. Capital murder charges against Yazeed were announced last week. In an affidavit supporting those charges, an investigator said Yazeed told an acquaintance he shot Blanchard and she went for the gun. So obviously he told more than just the guys that they arrested about this, and hopefully the investigators are paying more attention to the Facebook groups that hung out with Yazeed, because they were posting stuff all over the place. In a roundabout way, said the same exact words that the other witness said. This article covers some of the old news that was involved with this case. So they have Blanchard's mother, Angela Harris, posted on Facebook this week that a service celebrating Blanchard's life will be held Saturday, December 21st. However, the time and place have not been announced. Blanchard was last seen by her family, guys, on October 23rd, if you're just tuning into this story, and she is an Auburn resident. Her mother, Angela Harris, has said her daughter then stopped at the convenience store to buy potato chips before going home, basically, is what we heard them saying in an interview. And her stepfather was stressing, if she was going out on a date, why would she be buying a bag of chips? And it's something that she usually done, I guess, when she was heading home, something that they were used to. But no matter what it was, the parents felt as if, she was not out to meet somebody, like the texts that were coming in kind of pushed people to believe. And of course, new information and more details are coming out on what happened at this convenience store. So here it says, the video evidence from the convenience store at 1599 South College Street put Blanchard and Yazeed there at the same time. A witness later told police he saw Yazeed interacting with Blanchard near her vehicle in front of the store, and later forcing Blanchard into her vehicle against her will. That witness told investigators he didn't call the police because his female companion, who police said was either his wife or girlfriend, which we still don't know, told him not to get involved. So further video evidence from the separate gas station in Auburn showed Yazeed exiting the passenger side of Blanchard's vehicle and later re-entering the vehicle. Her Honda CR-V was last seen traveling south on South College Street toward the interstate. So police and the teen's black SUV from the apartment complex on the 6100 block of Boardwalk Boulevard in Montgomery around 6:15 p.m. that following evening, which was Friday. So a citizen reported the vehicle to police. And at that point, blood evidence was discovered in the passenger's compartment of the vehicle, and it was indicative of someone suffering a life-threatening injury. The evidence was submitted to the Alabama Department of Forensic Sciences and confirmed to be that of Blanchard. An affidavit said that a person was located and told them that Yazeed was next seen at the residence at Montgomery wearing only shorts with a gun tucked into his shorts. And that person said also that Yazeed was in possession of Blanchard's vehicle. However, he did not see Blanchard. So, quote, the subject further advised during a subsequent, I couldn't spit that out, could I? Conversation, can't read either, with Yazeed. Yazeed admitted to shooting the girl and stated the girl went for the gun. Again, we're hearing that, and that's by Detective Josh Mixon. So we do know that she was found on November 25th. I've mentioned that earlier. But what we didn't know is the police are still not announcing what led them to that area. So we're guessing it's probably the witnesses and the people that are probably doing that plea deal that we're not hearing about. But most likely common sense says that's what's going on. Yazeed was formally served with capital murder warrants this week, who said that the office will seek the death penalty. So that's excellent. Set that example. Harsh punishment. I think that's the best thing they can do. And they need to also investigate why he was out of jail in the first place. He should have been behind bars long before now. So that's one of the biggest concerns that a lot of the community has, including the nation that is following this story. It really doesn't make sense that he's out, other than he's able to say, I guess he's able to say those right things and able to use what he knows in law in order to get his way. So he doesn't say anything that he knows that will incriminate him more. He knows what to say and how to say it. So he's very street smart. Anyways, continuing on, the two other charged in a connection to this case are Antoine Squirmy Fisher, which is 35 years old, and David Lee Johnson Sr., 63. Guys, remember this, though, that David Lee Johnson Sr., his son, the third, was somehow involved with the transportation of Yazeed as well during this period. So Fisher is also charged with a first-degree kidnapping and remains held on a $500,000 bond. Authorities say Fisher provided material assistance to Yazeed by providing transportation to Yazeed and disposing of evidence. And this is according to court records, according to this article. So Johnson was charged with hindering prosecutions of lying and misguiding them. So authorities say that he knew his son allegedly drove Yazeed, which is the third Johnson, to Florida, but instead told investigators Yazeed left home with an unidentified woman. Johnson has been released on bond. Now, at the beginning of this, we heard that the charges would not be upgraded, but I bet it depends on their testimony, just like with Crystal Lee Kinney. So, and wait until Yazeed is trialed. So Hughes has not said whether charges against Fisher or Johnson will later be upgraded as well. So here we're going to go over that one more time, and that's what Yazeed was out of jail for. So at the time of his arrest in the Blanchard case, Yazeed was out on bond on charges of murder and kidnapping in connection of a January 2019 crime. According to the court records, two male victims, one of them 77 years old, were held against their will in a hotel room in January 2019 on the 1200 block of Eastern Boulevard. The older man was beaten until unconscious, unresponsive, severely injured, and near death. And robbed of his Rolex, rifle, handguns, wallet, bank card, clothing, and unknown amount of currency. The other man was also beaten and robbed of at least $40. In July 2017, Yazeed was arrested by Cass County Sheriff's deputies in Missouri on an arrest warrant for aggravated battery on law enforcement. So now you know why he got that black eye. Yazeed was previously, get this out, Deb, pleaded guilty to a felony drug possession in 2015 and received 13 months suspended sentence. In 2012, he was charged with attempted murder after authorities said he rammed a car into a Montgomery police vehicle. A grand jury declined to indict him on those charges as well. So, come on, guys. Something is so very fishy in that Montgomery area. So, if I was you guys in that community, I would be insisting an investigation on this, especially the parents. And if I was the parents of Aniah Blanchard, I would be insisting on a lawsuit. This could have been prevented. They definitely have a lawsuit. They need to push it. So anyways, the previous year, 2011, Yazeed was charged with 2 counts of robbery after a man was robbed of more than $2,000, a cell phone, and a Gucci watch. A grand jury also declined to indict him on those charges, and I think I know why on some of this. He likes to look around a courtroom and try to intimidate people. All of us noticed this. Everyone. If you didn't, then you're blind. So I think he believes that he can intimidate people, make people scared of him. And there's some kind of just something really wrong in Montgomery as well. I have to be honest with you, I had trouble searching him and getting information on him. He's very difficult. And people do seem to be afraid of him. So again, I want to go back to that Facebook message where he said, his friend posted, basically, if she wasn't at fault for her own life and for her rights, he wouldn't have killed her. So it's her fault, basically, that this happened. Okay, so each article that I'm going through right today, because I don't have time to really research this, especially the holidays, they kind of say something different. And so this one says, according to the document, Yazeed 29 told an acquaintance that he shot Blanchard after she grabbed his weapon. So one time she reaches, one time she actually grabs it, so we don't know. And this is supposedly court documents that they're reading off of, so I'm not certain exactly what happened. Now, I know a few of you guys were wondering about the video and thing like that. Why don't we have the full video? Well, we don't have the full video because they're not going to allow us to have it until probably a year after court. So anyways, on this Aniah Blanchard case, at least it seems like we're getting somewhere for Aniah, and that we need to watch this jury, whichever jury they select for this case when this trial does begin. Watch them close, because we know now that he has had a past where he has been tried, but jury has let him go free. So they need to be aware that there's something threatening the jury. I believe that's what it seems like to me. I'm not positive. That's speculation. There's a reason why he's getting away with what he gets away with time after time. This isn't a one-time thing. And I think that you guys probably agree with that there's something definitely wrong with this justice system where he's involved. So hopefully they'll take their steps to make sure that the jury does feel confident and comfortable when they are able to come to their conclusion and give the verdict that he deserves, which should be the death penalty. So Right now, he's still claiming not guilty, so that helps us with that, making it to where we can trial him and give him the capital punishment he deserves. So it's just up to the prosecution and the evidence and how that comes together during the trial process, and hopefully the jury feeling comfortable and unthreatened. So I believe that probably with this case, they might need to take extra security precautions for the jury. I hope, like I've mentioned many times, we are always talking about protecting the person that is accused, protecting the family. But I believe now they need to make sure that they're very much focused on the juries being comfortable, basically. Now, how many of you guys noticed when Yazeed was in court, the way that he just seeked out faces? He was desperate. It's almost he couldn't wait to get in that courtroom and seek people out. He was not afraid to look them in the eye, and in some cases, the people sitting beside him, he would glare them in the eye, and there was a few of them that glared right back, that didn't look away. And you could see that in their face are like, this guy is dangerous, and you can tell it. And I have to say, I believe that he's gotten away with a lot more than he's been charged with or accused with. What do you guys think? Write it in comments below. What do you think about this case? And do you feel that, why do you think that he was, 26 times arrested, and 6 of those major cases not behind bars? Why do you think that is? Maybe somebody is from that area and knows a little bit more than we do, so drop us something below. So right now, like I said, the reason why I'm still covering this like I am right now is to expose the fact that we do have a problem in our justice system in that area. Something's not working for the people who are victims. So it's working for the criminal, but it's not working for the victims. And so this is a huge problem. Our justice system is designed to protect people, all people, supposed to. And it's supposed to prevent people from anybody saying, okay, he's guilty, without proving, beyond a reasonable doubt. But sometimes it works against us. And it seems like today that these criminals are getting smarter, not saying intelligent, but smarter on how to get away with what they're after or want. They're working around our law systems because we have the internet and people are able to grab any information they want these days. And so many of them are studying to be better criminals, how to get away with it. And if you look back on a lot of cases that involve their internet search, well, it's very well confirmed that that's how they get away with what they get away with. Thank God some of them mess up. But there are many out there that I can tell you, as I've been looking over these cold cases. And there's tons and tons. I think there's like 400 in Florida alone. As I mentioned to you guys, I was not a big crime buff. And I'm still not a big crime buff, but I am about what's happening today. I want to stop it. And I want to help those people out there that's going through it. So I guess all we can do right now is rally behind Aniah's family and let them know that we're here till the end. And hopefully these guys are going to see the justice they deserve, and especially for Aniah herself. Her mom was right. She prepared her for this sort of thing, and it sounds like Aniah was prepared to fight for herself, but just never being in that situation, exact situations, because there's many situations that you could face, and you can't prepare for them all. It sounds like she was at least going to try to fight with everything that she had. And it didn't work out for her because she don't think that way. She has never been in that situation. She has never been around that type. And so it ended up just in a bad way for her. I'm not certain what you could have told her as a parent to prepare for that situation. I wouldn't have known what to tell my kids to do in that situation because you don't know all the scenarios. So hopefully Angela doesn't blame herself too much. However, with that being mentioned, I think that's something that maybe we should start considering to add to our schools, is to teach people about the evil people and how to, be better prepared and how to recognize them and how to look around a little bit closer. These children need to be taught that not all people are looking out for you, and that when they first approach you, many of them appear to be weak people. And so this kind of impairs your judgment big time. In fact, I can't remember which one was it, guys. Y'all remind me below. Was it Ted Bundy or the other guy, the serial killer that would pretend that he had a broken arm or leg? I can't remember exactly which, but he would use that to his advantage. He would use the fact that he, especially women, like to help other people. And he preyed upon that weakness, and that this is just something we need to prepare our kids better. And the sad part of it is people are going to think twice before helping other people. And it's always the evil people that ruin everything, including everything that's meant to be good. Somebody evil is going to come in and take advantage of that good heart. It doesn't matter if it's religion, business. We have cops, and I wanted to tell you that story one day, that are into child pornography. So to legally be able to look at it and get their hands on it, they actually investigate pornography. And I'm talking about child. So that's just how it is, guys. So you have to look inside your own group sometimes. But anyways, I want to send my love out to the Aniah Blanchard family and all her friends, everybody that was involved with that case, because the police did a pretty good job. They definitely, they were quick to get on this case, and that was the most important part. And I think that's probably the only reason they got as far as they did, and able to go as far as they did with this. Because, the guy that was staying at the Clariton Hotel, how much longer would he have been there, and when would he have left? So timing was absolute everything in this case. Now, don't forget that I did post when they are going to have a celebration of life for Aniah Blanchard. Make sure that you write that down in your calendar if you're in that area, so that you're able to go and support the family. And I want to say to you guys, I love you guys so much out there. And I want to do shout outs, but it's horrible with remembering names. I have to have that little hint, and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But I'll do a few today, which is Mona, Rebecca Brown, Jills, We Love You, Ashley GBC, April Moore, MYB, Tammy Frazier, I hope I say this right, Andrea Turnquist, Brian Dunleavy, The Bork, Rural Morn, Hockey Girl, Nikki, Doreen Blue West, Snail Strickland, Queen Bee. I have not seen my queen in ages. Thor Groot, Jennifer Odom, and there's so many more guys. Snail Strickland, Irish Eyes. Check out Duty Ron, guys. Make sure you check out AD. And I think I'm going to end it there for right now, and then I'll do some more shout outs the next go around. appreciate you guys. Love you guys so much. And thanks for watching and caring. See you guys soon.